there, my very good friends. On today's After News, I'm going to tell you all about the WWE fan favourites set for a serious push.
And there is also a huge name, disclaimer, not literally a huge name, just conceptually huge name, being announced, sort of, for the Royal Rumble.
I'm Andy Murray, and this order has messed me up.
This is the news, you're Adam Cleary.
You are. All right, we're going to kick things off. Who do you want to see pushed in WWE? Who's a big fan favourite that you want to see climb the ladder, reach to the stars like S Club 7 and release 4 really weird pop songs, drive a bus around London? That was Spice World. Never mind. Montez Ford is the person I'm talking
about. You were going
about.
to say Steph.
Yeah, after the most contrived introduction of all time, we got a report here courtesy of Louis Dangour of Give Me Sport, who has spoken to multiple sources on the matter, and the push he's going to get is a serious one. Quotation marks, serious push. So there were cancelled plans reportedly from WWE to split up the Street Profits in the 2021 draft. This didn't end up happening. They were both drafted to Raw, so for now they're together, but apparently, according to this report, higher-ups within WWE see Ford as a potential singles star. Now, I should point out that the cancelled plans for the split, that was a WrestleVotes report that we covered quite recently as well. But apparently, if you cast your minds back to last month, the Roman Reigns match on SmackDown, very good, very solid main event, Montez Ford, Roman Reigns, that was seen as something of a trial for a singles push later down the line, and Ford passed that test with flying colours. So it seems he's a popular guy in WWE management's eyes, he's a popular guy in the fans' eyes. He's a very charismatic man. I think he'd do really well.
Right. First of all, disclaimers. Obviously, I do also agree with that. I think he would do really well as a single star, but this is just... I'm surprised Confetti's not going off above our heads, because this is the 1 millionth time we've reported that a good tag team are going to be needlessly split up. Like, yes, I'm sure he would have a really, really good singles run. So would Angelo Dawkins, for my money, if you want me to be completely honest about this. But just, does Vince just object on a moral level to learning 2 names at once? Is that what this is about? Because every single time anybody comes up, and you can go all the way back to American Alpha with this, Enzo and Cass, anytime they are given a ready-made tag team, not one of these comical ones that get thrown together because they're just an odd couple, Andy Murray, but a ready-made tag team who are experienced tag team wrestlers whose gimmicks match up because they are a tag team. They get about 3 or 4 months, admittedly in this case about a year or so, into it, and Vince just goes, a bit boring this, isn't it? Just going to tag. What are you going to do this week? Just going to tag again? Nobody wants to watch that. Nobody cares about tag team wrestling. And then one of them is earmarked as a feature star. The other one just gets buried in some terrible feud, then himself put into a completely nonsensical tag team later on. Again, hello, Chad Gable. And then that's the end of that. And I completely agree. He will one day be an excellent single star. But why don't we do that after they've had an excellent tag run?
Yeah,
is that just me?
That's the thing. And the Street Profits, Montez Ford has only ever been seen on WWE TV with Angelo Dawkins. They started teaming together back in, I believe it was March 2016. It's like a mind-blowingly long amount of time when you think about it, back when Ford was still going by his real name, Kenneth Crawford, on NXT TV. The first match was against the Hype Bros. Speaking of teams that were, not that they had like mad potential or anything, but teams that were split up at some point by WWE. It seems to me like this might be something that's been earmarked for the future, so here's hoping that they at least have
3 weeks.
Short-term thinking, all of that stuff. So here's hoping that we have some more Street Profits. I don't think they've done anywhere near everything they can do with that team. I think they still have good mileage ahead of them, but here we are. Montez Ford, potential single star, push 2 O's, you know how to spell it.
I personally can't wait for them to tease this split over the next couple of weeks, then them to lose a tag team match because of miscommunication, followed by an accidental elimination at the Royal Rumble, followed by 2 matches where they face off against each other, and that's kind of the end of the whole thing forever. Possibly United States title run for one of them, but that's about as good as it gets. Anyway,
right.
Speaking of as good as it gets, we have a second story. A huge name is being earmarked for the Royal Rumble. Do you know who that huge name is, Andy Murray? Zurab
No.
Kishnishvili.
Oh, goodness.
Wait, sorry, I got the wrong notes. Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's recently returned to WWE in this incredible new gimmick of trailer park bum with flannel shirts and a ponytail. I've been genuinely amazed by it. He's got Paul Heyman, of course. Paul Heyman's doing the Roman Reigns thing. That's part of the storyline he's doing. As, of course, Crown Jewel coming up. Is it this Thursday?
Thursday, yeah.
That'll be interesting. So, obviously, Brock's back. He's on a short-term, part-time deal. We think it's about 18 months, or he signed 18 matches.
Yeah, that's right.
But one of them looks like being the Royal Rumble, because WWE, despite not having actually announced anything for the Royal Rumble and potentially, maybe wanting to leave its biggest names as a bit of a surprise, have just released some graphic design work for the Royal Rumble. And Brock Lesnar is about 80% of that particular piece of graphic design. So we can't as yet state for definite that Brock Lesnar will be at the Royal Rumble, because cards are subject to change, plans are subject to change, plans are subject to Vince, more importantly. But it looks like they're probably going to be building their marketing around him a lot. Now, he may or may not be WWE champion in a week's time. Universal champion.
That's the one.
Yeah,
That's
one.
the one.
He may or may not be that in a week's time, so we'd expect him to be defending between here and there. If he does pick up the belt, they've got, of course, day one to get through on literally the 1st of January, which is that's a thing that's actually happening. So I would not be surprised to see him on the card.
Yeah.
He's being semi-advertised for the card, but as yet we don't know if he is on the card.
Yeah, it's interesting. So they've got a bunch of the rest of the names that are on this listing on WWE.com are who you'd expect: your Big E's, your Charlotte Flairs, your Drew McIntyres, Bobby Lashley,
Randy's on there. Randy Orton's on there.
Orton, he's chilling about there. But yeah, Brock Lesnar. You'd imagine with this being such a big show, it's taking place in a stadium. They've got a bunch of tickets to sell in St. Louis. You'd imagine they'd want their biggest stars on the show. He's got that Universal title match this Thursday, like we've been through. Could he hold the belt by then? I'm of the opinion, unfortunately, that Brock Lesnar's going to squash Roman Reigns' ass this week.
I hear this a lot in the office. They've never ever squashed Roman with Brock, though.
They haven't.
They do it now.
They haven't, but they've squashed everyone else with everyone else in the main event. And
you do it now.
You wouldn't have thought they would have done that with Braun Strowman in Saudi Arabia a couple of years ago, but they did it. It's a Paul Heyman thing. It's the shock and awe, isn't it? The 5 finishers in a row. You come back. You win the belt back in a longer match. It's such a Paul Heyman thing to do. I hope it doesn't happen. I think that would suck. Don't get me wrong. But hey, you never know with this company. This is the Fiend got eaten alive by Goldberg in 3 minutes.
I was about to just jump in and be like, I don't know why you guys keep doing this to yourself. They never do anything with actual long-term repercussions or a significant ending in Saudi Arabia. And then my brain went, yeah. I remembered the Fiend exploding out of Goldberg before Goldberg reformed himself and killed him. So that was. I think that's how that went down.
Yeah, it was. It was a magical.
It was a magical.
But anyway, yeah, that's it. Brock Lesnar in the Rumble. Maybe if he's not champion, one of the favourites to win, perhaps.
Brock Lesnar in the Rumble is always really, really good, because you do then get like a solid 15 to 20 minute segment of just people being murdered.
Yes.
It's always quite entertaining.
Yeah,
and of course, last time he did this, you got the woohoo big boy gif.
Yeah, exactly.
Should have been a much bigger meme, in my opinion.
An all-time great reaction, but memes don't last longer than 12 hours these days, do they? They come and they go like a bird in
when you've got
an air propeller. Okay, cool. Dead birds. That's how we're finishing this one up. Let us know your favourite type of wildlife to massacre in an airplane engine in the comments section below. Like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Follow us on Twitter at WhatCulture WWE. Follow this man on Twitter at
Adam Cleary CLER. I just keep thinking about Andy Murray on Twitter.
You follow me on Twitter at Andy H Murray. H stands for heron.
No!
That would make a
That's
mess.
huge!
That would make a mess, wouldn't it? Is this video PG?
Not anymore.
Bye.